That's Oprah.
That's Oprah. Okay. Named after the Oprah, and your cat's name
Yeah,
is?
and then
That's opera, okay. Named after the opera, and your cat's name is in Gale, and I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually, but I also didn't participate, I also didn't go to those parts. Yeah, 7 months ago we made sure I already knew that Diddy and Opera is about to get arrested. How about all new, say what now, not 50 Cent? Putting his life on the line to protect Taraji P. Henson after Oprah Winfrey reportedly tried to end her. Word on the street is Taraji ran to 50 for protection after she rejected Oprah's offer to join her occultist lesbian group. It turns out that was the real reason Oprah played in Taraji's face for the color purple by severely underpaying her. She had Taraji looking a hot mess and crying in every interview. Just like Taraji, 50 also used to be really cool with Oprah until he found out she wasn't the saint she was making herself out to be. Apparently, Oprah tried to get him black-balled just like she did to Taraji. 50 was one of the only people in the industry to stood up for Monique against Oprah when she was calling Oprah and Tyler Perry out for blackballing her. And he isn't holding back from doing the same for Taraji. The beef between Taraji and Oprah started last back in 2023 when they were on the press run for The Color Purple. Everyone thought Taraji was going to show up to the press run and talk about the movie, but sis had different plans. She put Oprah on blast for severely underpaying her for her role in the movie, and even claimed that she hadn't seen a raise in her salary since Proud Mary. Mind you, Proud Mary came out in 2017. She said she almost turned down the offer to be in the movie because Oprah didn't want to increase her pay even after she tried negotiating with her. Where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary and almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes ma'am. Who said what? Yes ma'am, because you know what, if I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hyanan and Felicia? Then what? Why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here? We are to service each other. God is very clever. He put us on this earth and he made us all look different. He made it complicated. We need to figure it out and we can and we are. You have to look at the glass as half full. It's always half full. Taraji later appeared in another interview with Oprah's BFF and alleged lesbian lover Gayle King, and revealed that she considered quitting acting after her awful experience with Oprah. But guess what? While Taraji was having a mental breakdown on the show, Gayle was trying to gaslight her because, as I said before, she's besties with Oprah. She wasn't going to just sit quietly as Taraji exposed Oprah on her show. And I heard on the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it? I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. We have to, the math ain't math. Hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face and I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep like enough is enough. While Taraji was doing all this, 50 Cent stepped into the chat to defend her by reposting a screenshot of an article to his IG, announcing that he was ready to work with her. He said in the caption, they dropped the ball, FM Taraji, I'm ready to work, let's get it. This was an obvious shade to Oprah. He was basically like, hey Taraji, since Oprah wants to play in your face, come over here. I have work for you and will actually pay you what you deserve. 50 is a petty man, so this was very on brand for him, especially since prior to this, he had also had issues with Oprah. In fact, this wasn't his first time putting her on blast publicly. You see, back when 50 was blowing up in the industry, he wanted to clean up his image from a gangster to a commercial rapper. So he did an interview with Oprah in which he basically talked about his childhood and his infamous incident. He even brought his grandma to the interview and took Oprah to his childhood home. Me, it's my grandmother's home. I came out like 12:00 in the afternoon, May 24th. She was bent over actually up planting flowers in the garden, and I walked over here to sit in the actual vehicle that my friend was waiting for me in, and the car pulled up on the side of us. A guy got out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it and through the actual car. What does it feel like to be SH? Is it a physical feeling? Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as people imagine it hurts because of your adrenaline and how the shock of what's actually going on. It hurts after. Do you feel the first one or the ninth one? I don't even know. I didn't know my legs were broke. Really, when I tried to get out the car at the hospital, both of my legs were broke. Like I broke in 3 places on this side, and then where were you? And my hands. My legs several times, like 5 times in my hands and then in my legs and then in my face. Yeah, so when going through that experience, when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you become a bit insensitive. So just after, which one was it for you? There was a point that I was afraid, yeah. Following that, actually being SH, it was like I was afraid because everybody involved in a situation was still physically available to the part 2, just do it again. And then it was like, I got tired of in the recovery process, I got tired of being afraid. And then the only way that I could to cover those emotions were to be a little more aggressive and insensitive. Yeah, and to be angry about the situation opposed to dealing with how I was actually feeling at that point. And how were you actually feeling? The physical part hurt, and it was confusion because you hurt afterwards, you don't hurt for the immediate. Yeah, after you know you're going to be fine, it really starts hurting. You know what I mean? Like the doctor tell you you're good, then it's just really bones aching. You feel like you got a headache in your hip, the body, and then it's like I know I'm going to be fine, but it hurts so bad. Did you ever find out who did it? Yeah, I know who did it shortly after. Yeah. And they are now where? Oh, the guy actually his dad and the guy paid him and got life in jail. Got life in jail? Favorite meal for him when he was growing up, its favorite food was poking beans and franks. Really? You still like them? Yeah, that was it was the fastest. Apart from the interview helping to clean up his image, he also wanted his grandma to meet Oprah because she was a big fan. Even though the interview ended up happening, there was still some tension between him and Oprah behind the scenes because when the idea of the interview was initially pitched to her, she reportedly told his team that she wasn't interested in doing any interviews with him. According to 50, Oprah is against hip-hop and even compared her to an Oreo, black on the outside and white inside. He said, I think she caters to older white women. She was completely against everything that was in my music. So she ain't never going to have me on that show. I'm never going to reach that platform, which is confirmation of you being a huge success. So I just said, okay, if we can't be friends, then at least let's be enemies. 50 then took his pettiness to a new level when he named his dog after Oprah and his cat after Oprah's bestie, Gayle King. That's Oprah, okay, named after the opera, and your cat's name is Gayle. Around the same time, Oprah was also called out by Ludacris, who accused her of throwing him under the bus when he appeared on her show to promote his new movie Crash. Oprah was barely asking him about the movie and only asked him useless questions like why he uses the N-word in his music. You can't make this up. To make matters even worse, she edited out certain parts of Ludacris's response to her questions to make him look like an illiterate rapper. Ludacris kept it together during the interview just to be professional, but the next time he appeared in another interview, he didn't hesitate to drag her tail. Made about, I was there for Crash for the movie. Yeah, and basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash, and so I didn't necessarily felt like that needed to be said. You didn't agree with my music. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of my reviews. Right, she was able to say what she said, and then I had my rebuttal, and when I saw the final show her comments were in there. Was in there, but yours weren't in there and mine weren't in there, so it just looked like I kind of took it. Wow, like it was just quiet and didn't ma'am, I did. And then there was Dave Chappelle who appeared on Oprah's show after rejecting a $50 million deal with Comedy Central and jetting off to Africa for his safety. Dave revealed that there were some shady things that came with the deal that he wasn't comfortable with, and that's why he turned it down.